Alright, I'm going to take a quick look at the designs I've got so far for the camper. So here's a representation of what it looks like now. This is just the interior. The exterior I don't have modeled on here, not completely anyway. You see over here, this is where I started modeling the exterior. But it's kind of a pain in the butt to do this curve up here. So I just kind of took a break from that. I don't really need the exterior modeled right this second anyway, since I'll be working throughout the winter. I'll be working on the interior. So I just kind of left that for now. So anyway, this is what we got so far. You can see these are the wheel wells, also known as benches on the inside. You can sit there. You can see this framing. This framing is structural, so I really can't take it out. So I'm working with it and using it as part of the design. So this is what it looks like now. Like I said, so the door frame and stuff.
I don't know how to set front door to that setting.
Okay then. Apparently the Echo is listening to me. But anyway, what was I saying? The glass frames aren't on this one. You can see I did these these window frames. This doesn't actually really represent what it really looks like. This is just kind of a placeholder. Eventually I'll do a more accurate design. That was just kind of to make it look a little better, and I can show the fact that they'll be painted black. Right now they are like a chrome color. It's kind of hard to hold the camera and look at the computer at the same time, so you'll just have to bear with me. But so you can see the difference right now. It's all wood paneling. As you see in here, all that's been painted white. The metal trim has been painted black. So these cabinets here, so this I have a sink right here and a two burner propane stove right here. The air conditioner, I'm going to cut a hole in the wall here. The air conditioner will be mounted, it's a window unit, so it'll be sticking out the back there. Right now it's in this window. I don't really like it sticking out the side of the camper. Also, I got to take it out and put it inside the camper anytime we go. So I'm going to do a steel frame. There's an aluminum frame that is screwed on here right now. I'm going to do a steel frame and have it permanently mounted so that I don't actually have to take it off, and it'd be like strapped onto the frame, so it'll be like permanent. There'll be an electrical outlet. Right now there are no electrical outlets in it, but there'll be an electrical outlet dedicated for the air conditioner. Sorry, my hand's getting tired holding this phone. So let's see, what do we got? So these cabinets down here are pretty small. They're only, you can see here, like this wall here keeps going. So you've only got like 5 inches in there. But that's enough for like canned goods or, boxes of cereal or whatever can be stuffed in there. And when you open these doors, so these doors, there'll be 2 doors here, 2 doors here, and it's going to be one hole. Like there's not like it's not separated. There's not like a piece here. When you open it, this white piece here, this paneling, is actually going to be attached to this door. That's why this line is here. So it's actually cut right there. So you open this door, and then you can open that door, and it'll be one large hole. And the reason behind that is because I'm going to try to squeeze in 2 7-gallon water jugs in here to run the sink. So I have 14 gallons of water. There'll also be the option to hook up a water hose if it's available at that campsite. These countertops are just kind of a placeholder. You got to keep in mind the textures and stuff I'm working with are kind of limited to the program. But I kind of like the idea of something darker here, since everything else is white or gray. So most of this is going to be white. These cushions may not end up being gray. This is just kind of what I put it as, because again, I don't have a lot of options on this program. I might, I'll talk to Melissa. We might go with like teal, or we'll have to go look at fabric and pick out whatever we like. But I might, we might do something with color here, just that way, and it's not all the same dark colors. You see the table here. You see the wood floors. These floors, this color is a little bit lighter. It's more of a gray color than what this is. It's not like super gray, but it is more gray than this is, as far as what we're going to be using. Of course, the table will match the countertops. And then on this side, I haven't really planned out exactly how I'm going to do it. So this bottom section will be same as the bottom section on this other side, where it's just a small storage area, canned goods or whatever can fit in there. But this section here is not going to be doors per se, most likely. I think the whole paneling here inside the square of this frame is going to look like this, but this whole thing is actually just going to be one solid piece, and it's going to actually be on a slider. This whole thing's going to slide out, and there's going to be a 12-volt refrigerator that goes in here. If you don't know what they look kind of like a cooler, but it's a refrigerator. Let me see if I got that link pulled up still. I think I exited out of it. Yeah, I don't have it on here anymore. Anyway. But yeah, so that would go in there. It's basically like a cooler, but it's got a built-in compressor and stuff, so it's a refrigerator, and that will be on tracks that will slide out. And so like this is 20 some odd inches. It's like 24 inches or something front to back. And the cooler, I think, is going to be like 14 inches of that. So, you still got, 8-10 inches, whatever it ends up being. I don't remember the exact measurements of everything, but so you'll have some extra storage space. So this will slide out. You'll have some storage space in the front of the drawer, and then in the back of the drawer we'll have the cooler, and the lid will open up like this on the top. So there'll be storage and a cooler in there. I'll have to do some kind of vent, that way the compressor can keep from getting overheated. I haven't really figured that out yet. And then I got this top cabinet here. This is just going to be, general storage. You can do food or clothes, most likely clothes that we'll probably put in here. In this one, I'm not 100% sure what I'm doing with it. A couple options. One, just have this door that opens out here, or I can do something. What I'll probably end up doing is where this door is a false door, kind of like this one down here, and the door will be attached to the paneling, and then the paneling will have a hinge down here on the bottom and some chains. So what you could do is open it, and this whole thing flips down, and then this door here would obey, and then you'll have the chains would come up and attach up to here and hold it. So basically this would flip down, and then you'd have a little bit of extra counter space. And it wouldn't be super strong. You wouldn't put anything heavy on it, but it'd kind of give you a little area if you wanted to like flip that down and then set a cutting board on there and you cut something up real quick or whatever. Give you a little bit more prep space there. And then on the inside it could have drawers that slide out for clothes or whatever. That's one option. Or I could just do it like this, and where that's just a regular door, open it and then have some shelves in there. I don't really know exactly yet what I'm going to do with that. I'll have to make that decision pretty soon though. So the things that are not on this yet, this isn't design, the design isn't finished yet, but there'll be another cabinet. It's not going to stick out like this far, but it's going to be like from this wall, it'll stick out like, I don't know, maybe 6 inches. And so basically it'll come out from the wall to like somewhere right in here. And it's going to be the length of this window, maybe, I don't know, maybe half the window here. And it'll stick out like that. So yeah, it's not going to look like the best because it's going to be a kind of a small area. But the reason why is it'll give me a little bit of storage space there. But it's going to have all my switches. It's going to be a control panel. Will be inside that as well. So it'll have all my light switches and stuff will be in there. And the reason why is because the light switches will all be in there. There'll be a panel and then some USB charging ports, some 12-volt ports. I thought about maybe doing a 120 plug here. I don't know. I might do it just in case we decide to add a TV, like set a TV on here or something later. I haven't really decided. I might put one there, I might not. So there's that, and all the wires will come through the ceiling and go into that box. That's mainly what that's for. Is for all my switches. You just reach up there and hit the light switches and stuff. Okay, so then something else that's not here is right here in the middle here, right like that. There's going to be another cabinet that's going to be storage. That's going to be for the bedding. So the blankets and stuff will be tossed up in there. The cots aren't on here yet. So what you do here, it might be kind of hard to explain, but let's see. This piece here, you see this line here, and this line here. So this middle piece can slide out. So this will slide forward 8 inches. And then this piece here, so this piece does not move. This whole section here will slide forward up to here, which is another 8.5 inches. Same thing with this side, and that whole thing slides up to there. And then, like I said, this slides up to here. And you see the slats here, so half some of the slats, the gray slats will slide forward. The white slats do not. They're just spacers really for the white slats, but the gray slats will go forward. And what it is so the cushion that I hid will stay there. This one stays there. That one stays there. And then you take this cushion and this cushion, this cushion, and the table that I hid. If you look right here, you see it's notched out. The table actually sets on there. So you take that leg off in the middle, and after you scoot these forward, the table snaps in right there. Same thing on here. It's gonna be kind of hard to see it, but you see there's a little notch on there. Same thing on the other side. The table will sit flat onto there. Got into the cabinet. So basically that table plops into place, and that becomes the rest of the framing for the bed. And then you take this cushion, and this cushion, and they plop in. All three of them go across this opening here over the table. And that gives you the full-size bed. Unhide that real quick. Yeah, so basically this folds out into a full-size bed, and then there'll be 2 cots that will be able to, they'll roll up, and there'll be a either a bracket system to hang them up here when they're not being used, or maybe another cabinet that you slide them into. Haven't really decided that yet neither. But basically, there'll be a cot that will attach to here over to the cabinet, and then it'll have some legs up here. Like, it's not going to be this low, it's going to be up a little bit higher than that, and go across here. So the kids will sleep up here and up here. Then me and Melissa will be down here. It is going to be a little bit of a tight squeeze down here, but like here in the middle, the kids won't be above us, so like we can set up in bed, sit up against here. In this area we can set up, and then we lay down, we'll be underneath the kids. If I zoom out over here, you can see this is like the rough draft. See, there's the cabinet that's not in yet, and then the cots. You see the bed laid out there. And the way I'm going to do these is there'll be metal poles, and right there, and then there'll be some, it's like a mesh netting. It's a screen tarp is what it really is, but it's like a heavy duty, thick netting that will attach to these two poles, and then there'll have to be another pole in between these two that is removable to keep it from, like, if you lay on there, these would pull in, so you have another pole there that keeps these from being able to pull together when you lay on it. And then there'll be some kind of legs to attach here to keep them from moving around. There'll be, maybe they might screw in or something. I haven't really planned that out yet, but oh, something else is, so you can see here there's nothing right here, it's just floor. And then on here it's boxed in. So with this one, this middle piece, if you take this cushion off, you can actually lift this up, because remember, like, this is a slide, it slides out here, but you can also just take it and lift it up, and there's a large storage compartment right here. And it's actually going to be like the largest storage compartment in this thing, but it's harder to access. Like I said, you got to kind of take that off and then lift this up and hold that, so it won't be the easiest one to access. So what I'm going to do is I'll store my batteries. Once I do the solar, the batteries will be stored in there, like the charge controller will be stored in there. Also, like the propane heater can be stored in there, because those are kind of like the heater, you'll just put it in there for storage time, and then like in the summer stuff, you won't ever need to access it. So the only time you'll access it is like, oh, it's winter, we're going to do a winter trip. You got to access it that one time, get it out, and then while you're using it, it can be sitting on the counter, over on this counter or something. I can also do, those are wall mountable, so I could mount, underneath here or something for the heater, for when it's being used, and then you just toss it back under there to store it for the summer. So basically this will be long-term storage, just because it's a little harder to get to. Just, tools and stuff that for emergency repairs, all that kind of stuff. This is basically the garage storage area. But yeah, so that's what I've got so far. Y'all tell me what y'all think about the coloring. Melissa she didn't really seem too enthusiastic when I was trying to explain the color theme. She hasn't actually looked at the design, because she's kind of hard-headed, and explaining stuff to her is difficult. But I think it'll look pretty good once it's all done. And like I said, there'll probably be a splash of color on these cushions, and the windows will have curtains that could be colored. Same thing as the door is going to need a curtain, because it's got that big window here. So yeah, I mean, we could have colored there. can even put in a couple small pictures. I'm thinking about doing a backsplash here just because there will be a burner here. There's a gas burner here. I'll just kind of have to see where the air conditioner falls. The air conditioner might be too tall to have a backsplash. But I'm not like dead set on the color for the countertops. The only paint we've bought so far is just the white, because I know I'm doing mostly white just to brighten everything up. Like I said, we bought the flooring and I bought the white paint, so we can still buy different color trim and stuff, or paint for the trim. But I think the gray is going to look good. It's going to be pretty light gray. Probably a little bit lighter than what this actually looks like. Yeah, so that's what we got so far. Alright, y'all tell me what y'all think, at least for the colors and stuff. If you think, Melissa was saying she thinks we should paint the cabinets like all one color, but I think this way it keeps it mostly still white to keep it bright, and then just accent colors. I mean, we could always do, rather than doing gray trim, I mean, we could do a colored trim, but I think the better option is to do the cushions and stuff as colored and the trim as gray. I don't know. Give me some opinions. I'm not an interior decorator. I don't know what I'm doing. So, anyway, this video has been way too long. Y'all have a good night.